All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Green and Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new preview. This time is to talk about the Burnley versus Arsenal game. And boy, oh boy, this is going to be a difficult game. Burnley are doing really well in the league at the moment, well in the top half of the league. They've got the third best defence, I believe. Well, that was until last weekend, at the very least. They had the third best defender in the league, so this is a team that doesn't concede goals. They're actually playing decent football, and they've built almost a little bit of a fortress at home. I think their home form last season was a little bit stronger, mainly because they didn't have the away form that they have this season. But their away form, they're doing bits away, so it's an interesting tie. And it's going to be a big test of character. You know that old adage when people want to talk about when teams are flying, let's just wait until they face Burnley they face Stoke on a Tuesday night is usually, or Wednesday night is usually the same. I think you can say that of Burnley, except they're not as physical as the old Stoke team. They're actually playing good football, and it's going to be a decent test. I thought last season we fluked the game, if we're being brutally honest. I think we did just about enough to win the game, but in the fashion that we did, it was like a shot by ox that kind of clipped off Koscielny's arm, and because I don't know how the linesman, the ref, someone didn't see that being a handball. But fuck it. I took it at the time, and it was in the 94th minute. Burnley were really unlucky to lose that game. So this will be tough. Because I like Burnley. I do. They're a nice little family club. I like them. I've met a couple of Burnley fans before in the past through means of this show, which is always really weird. And it's they're nice people. They're good people. So I do like Burnley a lot. But make no mistake, we've got to win this game. I don't really know at the point. I mean, people will talk about title races and shit like that. I'll be honest. I think it's all right for all of us. I'll be honest. I don't see City dropping nearly enough points. I'm quite frankly, I'm just praying they don't go the season unbeaten. Never mind being in any type of title race. For me, as I've always said when it comes to these things, I just want us to finish as high in the league as possible. And a team like Burnley that are actually performing well, this is going to be a difficult test. And fair play. Normally, I don't buy into the media propaganda whenever they want to boost a manager like they've done it in the past so many times with Tony Pulis, and look where that's got him. That's got him sacked. They love them a bit of Mark Hughes. Media love a bit of Mark Hughes, you know? And, you know, the flavour of the month last season was Eddie Howe, and he was flying last season. To be fair to Eddie, he's got Bournemouth moving again. So you could argue that this just is the new media flavour of the month. But I will say this. Fair play to Sean Dyche, you know. He's stayed with Burnley. He took Burnley up, took Burnley down, took them back up. They stayed up last season, and now they've adjusted their football in such a way that they're now starting to express themselves a little bit, which is really good. That's the way it should be done, to be fair. If any small managers that are trying to take a small club like a Burnley up into, that's the blueprint they should follow. Stabilize the club in the league first, then start to build upon what they have. And they lost a big player in Andre Gray last season, a big player who I thought, okay, this could really hurt Burnley badly. And ironically, he's not done shit for Watford, but Burnley are flying. Just goes to show you, you know, all these people thinking about doom and gloom because Alexis and Ozil look like as though they're leaving doesn't necessarily mean the end. It just means we have to be well prepared. And speaking of well prepared, this would be the team that I would take into Sunday. For me, I would go check and goal. He's our Premier League keeper. Has performed pretty well I would say he's had a decent season, largely. I would say for Petr Cech. So for me, he stays in goal. My back three would be Koscielny, Mustafi, and Monreal. Monreal's been our defender of the season. Koscielny's Koscielny, and although I don't think he's as world class as people think he is, he's a decent defender. You have to say he is. And with Mustafi, he was fantastic last week. And I'm a big critic of Mustafi, but he was fantastic last week. And it was an unpopular decision, but for me, he was man of the match. I won't shit on you if you pick Ozil, but for me, he was man of the match. I thought he was amazing last week. So for me, don't change that back three. Right-hand side, Hector Bellerin. Left-hand side, the tank, Kolasinac. Your two in the middle, it would be Xhaka and Ramsey. I thought to be fair, I thought they were decent last week. Ramsey a couple of times overplayed the ball, kept slipping over at one point, which kept pissing me off. But generally, I thought they had decent games. So keep those two in the middle. Just in front of them, you've got to play Alexis, Ozil, and Lacazette. Only a fool would change this team. Only a fool would change this team. You know, they played so well against Spurs. They deserve an opportunity to be able to say, no, this is what we showed. We proved last week that we can fight. That was against Spurs, though. We had a reason. Everyone was up for it. Everybody. You know, people who hate each other for one game only banded together when it came to that game. Now the players must show the same heart, the same spirit against Burnley. If we can do that, we have a good record against Burnley, to be fair. And I expect that to continue. I expect it to continue, but it would not. Would it surprise me if Arsenal do an Arsenal and lose tomorrow? No. But I have belief, and I think we'll win. And I think we'll win well. I think it'll be 2-0. Let's see where that takes me. Anyway, it was a real quick one, guys. I know I kind of did this live video unannounced, so I hope you guys like it. Leave your comments down below for me. Crush that like button for me. Just to let you guys know, I'm going to a christening tomorrow. So I'll be doing everything in my power not to kind of be glancing at my phone and stuff during that christening. But I'll find a way to record the game. I'll probably do the review quite late, just so you guys know. But do stay tuned for when that pops out. And the best way of doing that is by hitting that subscribe button and hitting that notification bell. You'll know exactly when the review will drop. All right, people, I'm out of here. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.